What's up, Obi here, and today I want to share with you my new favorite smartphone game, NieR Reincarnation. I've clocked up a little over 20 hours in the game so far and have finished the main storyline up to its current limits. This is simply just going to be my opinion on it, so you can take that however you like. I'm going to try and avoid spoilers as much as possible, as the first time I did a game review like this, people weren't too happy. So I'll be almost exclusively using footage from the first area of the game, excluding certain points that are only available after you unlock them through the story progression. So before I go any deeper, here's a very quick summary. While it doesn't have the most complicated battle system, it is about what you expect from a JRPG smartphone game. You grind, you equip, you make parties, you fight enemies. The real beauty of this game comes from the story and the atmosphere, so if you're looking for something with the same vibe as the NieR series, then you won't be disappointed. Getting back into it, what is NieR Reincarnation? NieR Reincarnation is the latest addition to the NieR universe, which includes the 2010 game NieR Replicant or Gestalt, or simply referred to as NieR in the Western world, and the 2017 hit NieR Automata. While Reincarnation definitely takes place in the same NieR universe, which in itself is a spin-off of the world of the Drakengard series, it is in itself a standalone game that only benefits from previous game knowledge in the form of collaboration items, events, and characters. There is, as I've mentioned before, very similar themes and atmosphere to these previous games, the first and most obvious being, for me, the music. One of the first lines in this game that actually throws at you basically says, "This music is awesome, put on the headphones." Keiichi Okabe returns to compose all of the music in the game, which creates the same depressingly haunting atmosphere that captured my imagination in both Replicant and Automata. Each area or event has its own unique track that further deepens the way you feel the world you are immersing yourself in. So far I've bought all the main original soundtracks of the NieR series, and I am happy to say that I will be adding this one to my collection as soon as it comes out. The world you navigate is referred to as the Cage, and while the only real controls here are to drag and tap the small area of your smartphone, the game still manages to capture a fantastical feeling of depth. Each individual chapter represents a different part of the cage that contains its own theme and aesthetic. What is essentially just walking from point A to point B becomes more immersive due to minor gimmicks, including looking for hidden birds scattered around the environment, which, while being completely missable, will provide you with rare materials for leveling. Small warning here though, don't rush through the areas. Take your time and enjoy them. While you can replay the stages and the battles individually, you are unable to return to the separate areas of the cages themselves once they have been completed. The gameplay is simple at best, and is split between navigating the cage, navigating story-driven memories, and finally battle sequences. Battles are comprised of a 3-man team that can customize further through the choice of weapons, bodies, and equipable memories. To be honest, as long as your overall battle score is higher than the recommended number, you can pretty much autopilot this. Things only really become fun once you get into the realms of difficulty levels about 30,000 or higher, at which point elemental weaknesses, attack combos, and ability strategies actually become important. Each character has their own unique storyline, which opens up more about their history in the library menu. Each of the original characters in this game, while having unique stories of their own, begin to intertwine towards the greater narrative. This isn't the case for event characters, however, but they at least get their own artwork and fully voiced scenario. Here now we're going to have some minor and somewhat major spoilers, so you have been warned. I'll give you a little bit of time to get out, otherwise this is on you. Okay, still with me? Minor spoilers. 2 features unlocked throughout the game are 1, the arena for battling other players. Standard, but happy to have. Although it is packed with whales right now. I have no idea how anyone's getting that much battle damage. The second, however, is a shooting game reminiscent of the hacking minigame in Automata. This feature is used as a system to quickly replenish stamina to replay finished levels or events. But to be honest, I just really enjoy it. As someone who wasted far too much time on the hacking minigame, having it thrown in was a pleasant surprise. Alright, for major spoilers, I am going to be talking about the plot itself. For me, the 2 aspects that really make something a NieR game are 1, the depressing storyline, and 2, replays. Both of those are captured perfectly within this game. Everything you play while starting out normal will slowly turn towards misery. Each character's plot lines, as it continues to interweave with the others, paints more and more of a tragic scenario. The first chapter tells of a prince traveling with his guard who protects him from those who seek to harm him, while also including the story of a hunter who is tracking down a monster killing off other hunters. Both stories come to a head when you discover that the monster is the god himself, who is in actual fact an android protecting the prince who has actually passed away already. The second goes on to drag out the heartbreaking story of the hunter herself, and introduce more characters which will become fleshed out further on. The second part is, yes, this game in a certain sense does have a second playthrough. As it stands now, the game has 8 chapters in total, the first 5 following the main protagonist, the girl you see in the beginning, struggling to gain her voice and memories. However, at the end of the 5th chapter, there is a twist, which kind of resets the whole way you've been looking at the entire game, after which you are sent back to a previous point in the game to really look at things from a different perspective. Now, I could go on for ages with theories about where this fits into the actual NieR timeline and how the world is digging more into the end of humanity and the android race, but I'll leave that up to you when you play it out yourself. In closing, I would highly recommend this to any fan of the NieR series, especially those of the original NieR Replicant. If I'm going to go out of my way to find things to complain about, I'd have to say that the first few chapters, while story-wise are entertaining, there isn't really much of a challenge to enemies, and you're probably just going to want to chuck it on auto and wait for it to play through. This is especially true if you've done a reset marathon to get one of those collaboration 4-star characters. I got 2, which helped me cruise all the way through to the end of chapter 5. But if you want to stick it out, the game does fledge itself out to a full experience around chapter 6. So check the game out for yourself. If you're interested, let me know in the comments how you like it, or check me your friend code and I'll add you to the game.